Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mrs. O'Keefe. Welcome to Back to School Night for the year 2020-2021. I know that this is not how any of us expected to do Back to School Night, so please bear with me. And if you have any questions throughout this, you can replay it, look at it over and over. Please do just let me know. So here I am, Mrs. O'Keefe. I teach your child math and science, and I am also some of your children's homeroom teacher as well. I told the kids in the beginning of the year that I pick a Disney quote every single year to kind of live by, and this is the one that I've picked for this year. So when they return to the classroom, they'll kind of see it front and center. Sometimes the right path is not the easiest one. And that is from Grandma Willow from Pocahontas. Some fun facts about me that maybe your children have already shared with you. I do have two children, Riley, who is 16, who attends the high school, and David, who is 11, who is in the middle school for his first year. Before I taught here, I taught at Arliss School, and now I've been at the UES for 17 years here. I do have a dog named Harley. I've been teaching for 20 years. I did graduate from Kean University way back when, and I graduated with my degree in elementary education as well as training and development. When I was younger, I played softball and was a pitcher, and I was a cheerleader. I told the kids I was even the captain of the Bombers cheer team a long time ago. I love Disney. I'm sure your kids have told you that if they haven't. That's all over my room when they come back. My favorite princess and my favorite movie, Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I do love the beach, and I spend most of my summertime down in Long Beach Island. I never can pass up a Jersey Mike's sub. I don't know, that's just my thing. I drink a large hot Dunkin' coffee every morning, Starbucks later in the day. That gets me going. And I am super excited to be your child's fourth grade teacher. I find it very important to share a little bit about myself with you because all of your kids shared quite a bit about me. I know we have some hockey stars, some softball and baseball stars. We have some artists. We have some people that are completely interested in doing sports, but also artistic. And I told everybody then that shared the All About Me forms that when we do get back to school, I do expect a lot of pictures. Some websites, platforms, materials, and things that we'll be using this year. Obviously, Google Classroom. I'm sure you are all very aware of that as well already. Envision, that's what we're going to be using for a bulk of our virtual math instruction. Discovery Education, Extra Math, IXL, Boom, Achieve 3000, Linkit, Clever, and ST Math. Several of these things we have used already, a couple we have not yet. I just want to let you know that I will clearly go through all of the expectations on each of these sites with your children before they are expected to go onto it. For instance, Boom is something that we actually are doing today, or we did today, and getting them on with that. It's just another great interactive way for me to work with your children. Here is our class schedule. We have 8:30 to 8:50 is homeroom morning meeting. It is very important that your child logs in by 8:30 since I do take attendance at that time. It really has not been a huge issue for most of us. As a matter of fact, when I turn the cameras on at 8:15, I see some people are already waiting to get in. So the earlier, the better. If they're in by 8:15, I will show you later that they all see on Google Classroom what the expectation is for that day and what they should be doing. If they arrive late, for whatever reason, I would like for you to please send me an email as to why they are late, because of this being a half day or early dismissal schedule, pardon me, they do need to be present for all parts of instruction. So as far as our class schedule, we are in class for periods 1, 2, and 3. So for my homeroom students, they have math during those periods. Fourth period, we all break for lunch. And then when we come back, fifth and sixth period, I see Mrs. Grimm's homeroom for math, and my homeroom goes to language arts. Seventh period is specials, which this trimester, is music. And then the final period is eighth period from 12:30 to 1 o'clock. That's where I'm seeing most of the problem getting, children to come back. And I have reached out to some people. So again, if for any reason something happens, something occurs, and, there's a problem, please just do email me to let me know. Parent-teacher communication. Email is definitely my preference, and it is the quickest way to get in touch with me, and my email is right there. My last name is O'Keefe, and I normally do have an apostrophe, but I don't have one for my email. I am in school a lot of the times, so if you do call, I may get it, but again, email is quickest, the easiest. But if you do request an actual phone conference, please do let me know that through email or otherwise. Google Classroom private comments. I told you guys that I have a child in the high school and the middle school. My quickest, easiest way when I'm working with my son, I'll go on his private comments and say, hi, this is Mrs. O'Keefe. So that comes right to me as well. We will be giving out Friday folders when we return to school, and they're usually bi-weekly. Sometimes they go home sooner than that, perhaps a little bit later, depending upon what assessments we have. But the Friday folders will be a great way for you to visually see what your child is working on in school, as well as tests. Grading policy. We still use the standards-based report cards, and I'll go in through detail a little bit later, ES, MS, AS, and NS. Report cards are going to be distributed December, March, and June. Like I said, Friday folders will keep you informed once we are in person. So right now, assignments, when they are returned, sometimes you will see comments as well as a number score. That is just how it works for Google Classroom. That is obviously transposed into a standard-based report card grade. In the classroom, we'll have formative assessments, gathering information about progress, their classwork, their homework, obviously summative assessments, when we have our unit tests, and sometimes quizzes. And that will be in both math and science. So student-based report cards, I know you guys have been using them for quite some time, but just to remind you, it's a report on the students' progress toward meeting state and district standards in the areas of their content and performance. It gives you specific information on a given level of proficiency. I really do like these because I can pinpoint and say, while your child is doing really well on this particular standard, maybe it's in multiplication, this might be an area that they are showing a little bit of deficiency or, need to work on a little bit, and maybe that'll be in fractions. And it's very specific to each particular one. So where your child before, if they were to get a letter grade, it would be cumulative for everything. Where this I can pinpoint and say, even though your child might receive an MS on this, they might get an AS on this because this is a skill they need to work on. So let's get into what those are. ES, again, are exceed standards. Student is consistently exceeding the standard for grade level. I will be completely honest with you. Students can get an ES. However, it's not as common because this would be that consistently working above grade level. And in fourth grade, we don't have many students that are working consistently above grade level. Meeting standards, that's where we strive, because that means that your child is able to apply the skills, concepts, independently without teacher interaction. Approaching standard, student is making progress toward the standard for the grade level, but sometimes may need a little bit more coaching, guidance, direction from the teacher. And need support, it's the student is making minimal progress toward the standard and working below grade level, so improvement is needed in that area. Curriculum overview, math, the Envision Mathematic Common Core program. We are right now in place value, and hopefully we'll be finishing place value this week. And then we'll be moving on to addition, subtraction, multi-digit whole numbers, multiplication, long division, factors, multiples, fractions of all kind, decimals, measurement patterns, lines, angles, and shapes, which brings us to the geometry part. Science, we are going to generally use the New Jersey Center for Teaching and Learning, the NJCTL program. It is a web-based program. Everything that we do virtually will be given during instruction as well as assigned in classwork. We are going to be starting with the history of the planet Earth. We started science this year just going over the scientific method. We get into Earth systems, energy, wavelengths, natural hazards, plants, and animal structures. And again, going back to that website and material and platform, we will use a lot of supplementals for these. For instance, in math, we will use Extra Math, IXL, ST Math, Boom Learning, science, definitely using Discovery Education, Brain Pop, things of that nature. Homework is posted under the classwork tab in Google Classroom. Please, please, please remind the children to turn in or mark as done after they have completed their work, and we're getting much better with this. That's going to be the easiest way for me to then return the score or grade back to them. District policy that I am completely fine with and agree with. There are no new assignments assigned on Friday or the last day of school before a holiday, and they won't be due the day we return from a weekend or a holiday. Sometimes I might give some assignments. For instance, they had gotten a Beaker assignment last week on Wednesday. Well, it's due on Monday, but they had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they had that. So if they use their time, they would have had it completed. Any additional time must be provided to complete the assignment if that were to be the case. So if I were to assign something on Thursday, I would probably never make it due on a Monday, probably a Tuesday. But like I said, I agree with this policy, and I think that, as much time as we've been spending with our families, it's still important to kind of take a break and kind of walk away from the Chromebooks and the devices for a while. Office hours. At the end of the day, from 1:45 to 2:45, we have office hours, all the teachers. I've told the students that they just join my Google Meet, that they join every single day. It's the same link. I may request a student to come for additional support. Like I said, we're just getting started, but I foresee that moving forward, if there is anybody that I may want to meet with, I might ask them to return to office hours. Students can join at any time during the office hours with questions. If it becomes a situation where we have a lot of people on, I may begin to start to do something where they have to check in. But right now it's been okay, so I'm going to kind of just stick with that. And obviously contact me if you want to schedule any meeting, whether it's a phone conference or on Google Meet as well. That time is also available for you guys. If you are home with your child, or even if you're not home with your child during this time and you have a question about something, hop on, ask your question, and I hopefully will be able to help you out with that. Students need to be logged in and present for all instructional periods to be marked as present for the day. Please, 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 when it's possible, please encourage your child to keep their camera on. I do currently still in both classes have quite a few people that do not leave their camera on, which I know you do not have to, but it becomes very difficult to be able to see what they're doing. Even though it's a teeny tiny little screen like you guys are seeing me, I can see when I'm introducing a concept and I see the faces like this, or, oh, I have it. So it definitely helps me in that respect. So if you would please, I really would ask you to do that. Again, like I said, if you think your children are all on it, I probably have about 8 or 9 in my homeroom class that don't keep their cameras on. Probably about 5 or 6 in the afternoon. So if you're listening to this and saying, I wonder if it's my child, send me an email. I can let you know that. If there are any technology issues preventing your child from logging in or any issue, please make sure that you just keep me aware of it so I can let the office be aware of it. If your child is going to be sick and will not be logging in for the day, or has a doctor's appointment or anything like that, just like if we were in school, please let me know so I can let the office know as well. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Google Classroom and Google Meet expectations, websites, and supplies. So I am actually going to bring you right to the Cerevel website. On the Cerevel website, when you go to it, all I did was go to schools, and it brought up all the schools in our district. So when we click on the Samsel Upper Elementary School, it's going to bring us to the Samsel webpage. There's tons of stuff on here for you to go through and make sure that you are aware of. However, at the very bottom here, which I did show your children, is the teacher websites. So besides just mine, if you want to, see what Mrs. Grimm has, or Miss Hensel, or the specials teachers, or whoever, on the left-hand side here, you can scroll down, and I'm just going to bring you to my website. And on my website, this has been up. This was from, the beginning. My little welcome back letter. I do have a supply list for virtual as well as in-person instruction, just to kind of go over what we really need now. Obviously, pencils, erasers, we are going to be making some mistakes. A notebook for math and science. I know some people said that they don't have notebooks, so I also said maybe a dry erase board. I know the PTO will be providing a dry erase board, but I know it's not here yet. Told the kids that multiplication flashcards or reviewing a multiplication chart would be fantastic, and a great big smile. So I will post things here occasionally to kind of help you along. So this is available. One of the things that is on here, because I know that a lot of parents ask, well, what is the homework? And again, I will show you on Google Classroom in just a second. But this was September. So if I were to click on the 8th, it'll pull up exactly what was homework for the day. So on September 8th, they had 30 minutes of ST Math, review their 1 and 2 multiplication facts. On the 18th, which is a Friday, have a great weekend. So this is available to you. This is linked right to my lesson plan, so it gets posted all the time. So that is something that you would definitely find helpful, especially when we move back into school. When we do get back to school, I am hoping that they will go ahead and, or have been using their agenda pads that they got for supplies. And, that will be a place where they're going to write down any of their information. It's also a place that you and I can communicate going forward. One thing I did not bring up, and it just dawned on me as I was saying supplies, when you came for your supplies, they gave you two math workbooks, excuse me. We will be using those as well. So I'm sure you've also seen this site as well. This is the Clever website. And when your child logs into Clever, these are all of the different sites we have. Some of the things that the district has, as well as when they click on mine, these were 2 additional that I added, the Extra Math and the Boom Learning. So that is also another place that your child will go to frequently. And finally, here we are at Google Classroom. So this was their Friday meeting. Just reminding them, today's Friday, we did it. We had a great first full week. Everybody deserves a little break, a little bit about their do now, and then my question of the day, what do you have planned for this weekend? And you can see that a lot of students, 36 of them, had answered here. So that's what I do daily. We have the pledge, we do the pledge, and I'm sure you've all seen it, but that's every single day. All of the information is going to be on the stream. After that is the classwork section. The classwork section right now is broken up into Friday drills, which we took a Friday drill, their classwork homework, which you can see is daily and dated. Some math materials. So as we go through, this was helpful things for topic 1. And this was all about me and our back to school stuff. So for instance, let's just pick Monday the 14th. On Monday the 14th, this was where we're going to be fine-tuning our logging in, spending some time on extra math, and they had to take a Google form. So this is an excellent way for you to refer back to and see what your children had. Now, your child's classwork is going to look a little bit different because mine is the teacher page. Mine are all blue. That's because I didn't mark it as done. If your child has any blue, that means that there's something in there that they did not complete. If they're gray, then they've turned it in, okay? So that is really all I have for you. Please, if I've missed anything, I feel like when we're in school, I would have had some questions back and forth and I can answer them. But if you have any questions, you have any concerns, please make sure that you reach out to me. I'm here to help. I want to have your child succeed, and hopefully this will be a very short-lived virtual learning, and then we'll be back into the classroom. But until then, we're going to work together. We're going to help each other out, and I am here to help you. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your kind words, and please remember that we're all in this together. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and see you soon.